Hi, this is Adam Kunzmiller with BGG TV at Gen Con 2015, and I'm joined by Seth Jaffe with Tasty Minstrel Games, and we're here to talk about Flip City. So tell me about Flip City.
So Flip City is a deck building game in which you want to build your city and keep your people happy.
Okay.
Unlike other card games and deck building games, you don't have a hand of cards. You have a shuffled up deck of cards, and you're going to look at the top card during your play cards phase, and you're going to decide, do I want to play this card or not? So you'll play a card. Now this card has a frowny face on it. When you have three frowny faces in one turn, you bust, and therefore your turn is over and you don't get to do anything else. So, in addition, there are some cards that say, if this is on top of your deck, you must play it, and it has a frowny face. So there's a little bit of a press your luck aspect here. So, for example, if I play a hospital and a factory and apartments, a Central Park, I'm forced to play the residential area, that's three, I would bust. So to be a little more careful, I might stop before that. If I haven't busted, I decide to stop, then I move on to my buy phase.
Okay.
Cards also provide money. So I get, the hospital gives me money for all the frowny faces I've had so far. So I've got $1, $2, $4, $5. During my buy phase, I have three options. I can do any one of those three. I could buy. I could pay the buy cost here and buy a card into my discard pile. Or, let's assume I had a card in my discard pile already. I can pay this flip cost to flip the card to the other side, which makes it a better card. And the last option I have instead of those things is if I had enough money, let's say I had $8, 4 plus 4 is 8, I could buy and flip that card at the same time. That's called the develop. So I can buy, flip, or develop. Then all my cards go to a discard pile.
Only one card, or as much as you have money?
Well, you get one action worth of buy, flip, or develop. Now, there is a card that's Central Park here that gives you an additional buy. So in addition to your buy, flip, or develop choice, you could do one buy, which is just the buy action, not a flip.
No develop.
You'll also notice this Central Park has 2 victory point icons on it. The goal of the game is to actually play 8 victory points in one turn without busting. If you do that, you win. In addition, the convenience store says that if you play 18 cards this turn without busting, you win. So there's 2 ways to win the game, and you're basically trying to build your deck up to achieve one of those goals.
Okay. So you're building up, not having sad faces by getting them flipped and things like that, so you can get them all played.
Yes, and each card is upgradable, and one of the things, for example, the upgraded hospital is a church, and that extends the number of unhappy faces limit for the turn.
Right.
So that's one way to get around it. Another way is, so once you flip the residential area, it's an apartment, same thing, but you're not forced to play it, so it's not as bad. And it's got another upgrade cost. Well, why would you flip that back over? Well, the apartment, when you pay this large 8 cost flip cost, you get to flip it and give it to your opponent. So it gets it out of your deck. And there's one more way to do it too, is the upgraded factory is a power plant. When you play the power plant, it lets you take an apartment from your discard pile and give it to your opponent. So there's a couple ways to try to rid your deck of the bad cards, which is how you might need to do some of that if you're going to play 18 cards in a turn without busting. But yeah, there's a lot of ways to go. The upgraded Central Park gives you more points, so you can try to go that way. Also, many of the cards have a recycle ability. This green arrow, if this is in my discard pile, during my play cards phase, I can recycle it. I can get this effect and turn it back over. So in this case, it's an extra point. So if I played 7 points out here and this is my discard pile, I can say, you know what? I win.
Cool.
Yep.
And how long does the typical game last?
The typical game, the box says 30 to 50 minutes. That's about right. And it's a 2 to 4 player game. So it goes, depending on the number of players, it goes from 30 to 50 minutes. Cool.
And any expansions or anything like that for it?
Indeed. In fact, so this was originally called Design Town, and it was published in, I want to say Korea, but it might have been Taiwan. I've forgotten. It was just this as it is. Flip City, however, includes the office. It's one more pile of cards that you could optionally use. It gives you, another. When you shuffle your deck, you can set this aside and put it on top. And the other side of that is a trade center, which allows you to shuffle your deck. It gives you an unhappy face, but you can shuffle your deck right now if you want.
Gotcha.
So this is like an expansion. It's included in the box of all the retail copies of Flip City. And I believe that we're working on another expansion. I don't know what's in it, but there's another expansion going to come out.
Underworks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, great, Seth. That was Flip City.